Okay, shalom, shalom, first and foremost. All high praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Krakudas. The honors to the elders, sing honors to the apostles, preaching and teaching us the word of truth, and with sincerity as always. And without any further ado, I just wanted to get into this video going into some prophecies. Ultimately, just speaking on what's gonna happen, what this devil is working on doing as I'm speaking.
About the surveillance state that might be coming, how someday, in the not-so-distant future, everywhere you go, you might be tracked by cameras and so on. So Andy and several other people sent me a note, Steve, check this story out of Florida. It's from GadgetReview.com. Rex Edison wrote it, but I've heard stories about this and other situations like it across the country. Cape Coral eyes AI cameras on garbage trucks to scan properties for code violations. So, a code inspector can drive around looking for code violations. And they're saying, hey, let's put AI cameras on garbage trucks. Because garbage trucks drive slowly down the street, stop in front of each house. Let's put a camera on the garbage truck to scan the house for code violations. So it turns out that Dallas has already talked about doing this with a budget of $850,000. And Stockton is already building a program, and vendors are working on this. But of course, the question is, what else will be sweeping up with those cameras? So your garbage truck already knows your address and your pickup schedule. No problem there. Cape Coral, Florida wants it to know a lot more. City leaders are considering mounting AI-powered cameras on sanitation vehicles to scan yards and homes for code violations, such as overgrown lawns, illegal dumping, or blight. And they do that during routine trash collection routes, according to the Gulf Coast News. Cape Coral isn't alone. Dallas has approved a lot of money for this, pending full city council approval. Stockton, California is building one too. And every city uses the same argument, saying it's efficiency. The question nobody's answering well is what that efficiency actually costs. So before the trash truck cameras, there were, of course, the poles with cameras mounted on them by Flock Safety. And apparently there are now 80,000 to 90,000 AI-enabled cameras across the U.S. and, of course, even in Florida. These aren't simple license plate readers. They build vehicle fingerprints, capturing make, body type, decals, bumper stickers, and dozens of other visual markers. And then they run convoy analysis that flags cars that repeatedly travel together. And that I don't think I remember reading that before. So if your car is often seen near another car, they'll make a note of that too. And don't forget that your freedom of association, who you hang out with, is actually something protected by the Constitution. Just throwing that in there. According to the ACLU, Flock's AI is actively evaluating each of us to make a decision about whether we should be reported to law enforcement as potential participants in organized crime. Some cities discovered they couldn't easily disable Flock's data sharing and resorted to covering the cameras with literal trash bags, as CNET reported. That detail alone says everything about how well governance keeps pace with technology. Now, the trash truck systems work differently but follow the same logic. Cameras snap continuous frames along collection routes. AI vehicles and software from vendors flag suspected violations, such as graffiti, peeling paint, boarded windows, high weeds, and then human inspectors would verify anything that was flagged before fines were issued. Cape Coral officials frame the system as assistive, not a replacement for experienced code officers who know local context. And I lived someplace once where the code officer lived one town over. Did not live in the town in which he was inspecting for code. Just seemed odd to me, you know? So he's inspecting for code one town over. So both sides of the debate have real merit, which is precisely what makes moving fast so risky. And this, again, is Rex Edison, and I agree with him. City officials argue that understaffed departments need force multipliers and that photo documentation creates objective records. Residents of Cape Coral have publicly raised concerns, however, about false positives. The AI says it sees something that's not there. The unsettling feeling that every collection day brings a rolling audit of their property. And systems introduced for code enforcement that later get repurposed to track movement patterns tied to immigration status, healthcare access, or political activity. The ACLU has documented exactly this pattern with flocks expanding analytics. And meanwhile, a homeowner's Ring doorbell is a choice. And if you put a Ring doorbell on your house, number one, that's you doing it to watch your own property. Of course, people do argue about that if anybody else has access to that, and it's another story altogether. A city pole camera outside the same driveway is not the same as a Ring camera. Sanitation trucks scanning the lawn every Tuesday is something new entirely. Kind of ambient infrastructure level surveillance that feels too mundane to trigger alarm until the fine arrives in the mail. It's the Black Mirror episode. Nobody pitched because it lacks drama. Just cameras on trucks and photos of weeds. Cape Coral's proposal remains exactly that, a proposal, but Dallas has budgeted for it. Stockton has a plan, and the vendors are motivated, and the technology is cheap. The governance frameworks are still being drafted, often well after the cameras start rolling, that opt-out windows closing faster.
There you have it. You get the point. Dude is speaking on that surveillance state that Esau is planning to bring to come to pass. Because once again, you got the wicked is in power. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, so Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not where and who he is. Yeah, so the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right there it reads. And so that's who's in power, man. And so that's who's going to plan and make the laws and control. And that's ultimately what you saw in the video. The guy was explaining how he wants, not him, but the elites, they want control, power. Hence why they have they want to put tracking devices, what do you say, cameras on garbage trucks to help assist more with social credit system, to see what people are up to, what people can do and can't do, what illegal things they may be trying to do, is to give them tickets and whatnot, things like that they want to do. Because when you're a king and you can control things, that's what you do. You set up the laws and you control things. And usually kings always want more money. Throughout the history, they always want more money, more territory, more slaves, more control, more power. That's what man desires deep down within every man. If you were in power, that's what you would want. You would want more power. You would want more money. and you would want to say what people can do and what people can't do. That's what man does. But ultimately, God is the one who can only. Ultimately, God, the Creator, is the only one who can be responsible with that type of power. Even us as the Israelite man, if we were to have that power, we wouldn't be able to control it. We would be doing too much or go off or something. Solomon and stuff, but that's a whole another topic. And ultimately, Esau is wicked though, and he's going to do wickedness with his power. That was Job 9:24. Once again, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not where and who he is, yes, he covers the faces of the judges thereof, because he's a corrupted judge. So he's going to hide the face of the true judges, which are the prophets, when you go into the scriptures. And ultimately, he knows that we are Israelites, that we are the Israelites, and that he is the Edomites. And that this is his end ultimately as well. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the road, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Or that followeth, Khan. If you've been looking at the news as well, and how Trump's been moving, you can see that he's obviously following his master's instructions, the instructions of his higher ups, who control your presidents, who decide what president gets up there, which one doesn't. Notice you never had a Jake president, because Jake is not in power. And Obama wasn't black. Obama was ultimately a Hamite. And through the spirit, they knew that. They knew Obama wasn't an Israelite. Jeremiah 30 and 7, yeah. And even if they thought Obama wasn't, and even if they at least believed that Obama was an Israelite or Jake, let's say if they did, which ultimately, your minor governors and Edomites that's ruling, helping to rule, they might have thought he had been fooled and thought he was a black man, but ultimately, I don't think that your higher ups, your higher elites actually believed and genuinely believed that Obama was a Jake. Because ultimately, they would know. The reason I say that is because ultimately they would have understand and know about the prophecies and the scriptures, and I speculate that because they go to they probably have witches and warlocks that they look at and seek, because all throughout history, and the kings, when you look into these kings and rulers in history, all throughout the history, they've always, especially if they were wicked, they always had some type of priest or prophetess or prophet on the left side to show them omens and omens and speak to them. The Romans were actually pretty spiritual, It's just that they would do it with to false gods and speak of false gods in the name of false idols and gods. But they would also seek witches and warlocks, those who can see into the future through omens and look at signs. So I speculate these elites didn't do the same, man. And somewhere down the line, they and just in history, man, their forefathers, their earlier forefathers, dude, they were the Edomites, and we were Jacob. They knew the blacks in the dark ages of us ruling, so they would have known the prophecies, man. The Rothschild's name, it means red shield. It literally means red the shield. Yeah, but this is what they're planning, and this is Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for day is great, so none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, so that's what's coming. That time of trouble is coming. It's approaching. Got some photos here of these devils here. That was his Amschel Rothschild, I think, and his other. Well, actually, I think no, this was Amschel Rothschild, or this was his 5 sons, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure he had 5 sons. Their father went all the way back to their father, who had the 5 sons. He was really the one that figured out the way to come up, so to speak, and make a name for his family and himself. There's Henry Kissinger, another devil, higher up. Supposedly he's dead, but I don't believe that. Who knows? The Oppenheimers, the Rockefellers. The bilateral trade, all other groups that they have. Adam Weishaupt, if you know about all that, going all the way back to the Illuminati and his ties with the founder of the Rothschilds dynasty. Yeah, man, these are the wicked there. Yeah, so yeah, man, they want control. That's what you need to know, is that they want control. And you got these AI data centers. I've already just put this, I'm going to read this. It says, Texas now hosts over 570 data centers, and ranchers near Abilene's Stargate site already report constant turbine noise and shrinking well water. It says no independent lab or veterinary test has confirmed the cause, but worries are rising from farmers all around the U.S. The farmer blames low frequency hum and vibration from a nearby energy facility, saying his cow now sleep by the road instead of their usual rabine. Yeah, man, poor cows, man. Poor fucking cows. Creatures, animals, man. Getting fucked up by this devil and his ways of life. Ultimately, God, the Creator, sees him and knows what he's doing and knows when he's going to be put down and destroyed. Yeah, so that's sad, and that's sad when you gotta see that, and that's this devil doing these things, all to control more, to get more power, to gain more power. Because when the wicked is in it says, I didn't want to have to get this, but as the scripture just came to mind, as it says, when the wicked rule, the people rejoice. The people mourn. So like when the wicked is in power, the people mourn. In Proverbs 29:2, here it is, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Yeah, because if this man was righteous, you wouldn't have this going on right now. But this has to play out, as it says, as it talks about in the book of Ezra. One of the main themes of the book is, one of the main themes that you get from that book after you finish reading it, is that the Most High is the one who is in control, and that you may not like the things that play out on the earth, the evil things and the bad things that you see play out on the earth. But when you read the book of Ezra, one of the main things you understand is that that's how Ezra felt. And you put yourself in his shoes, because you can relate. Everybody can relate to that. And then you get a deep, more spiritual understanding of it, because it's pretty illuminating in the fact that the Lord is allowing evil, and that you don't like it, but he can do what he wants, not in the way that man thinks, and just to do evil. That's what man does. That's not what the Lord does. The Lord does what he wants in the way that it's going to accomplish his purpose, that's going to lead to righteousness and an eternal kingdom, actually. So this is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Yeah, and the people, you see that even the animals are mourning. And if someone actually looks at what's going on with what this devil's doing, they're going to mourn as well, because it's not right. People mourn because they're wicked, and they can't be a woman, and they want to be a woman so bad, but really they were born a man. But they don't consider the fact that that was destroying the earth, the universe, and their own wicked ass ways of thinking that's correct. Being a faggot is not going to save you in the times we're going to come into. And you should worry more about these animals and what they're dealing with than your own selfish sexual preferences of what you wish you were born. Niggas like that will be destroyed. But it says here, I wanted to get this. Let's see if what else if he play a bit more of this.
Hey, you. Dreaming of a world outside this screen, where the volume turns down.
Cameras start rolling. That opt-out window is closing faster than a city council meeting agenda. So he's pointing this out to us, and I agree with him that this is a concern. I can tell you right now, I've seen a police car driving down the road that had all kinds of scanners all over it. And I remember coming back from up north, coming down I-75 on a Sunday evening in relatively heavy traffic with several lanes. And there's a car way up there, but it appears to be doing it on purpose, where it's kind of like changing lanes and letting other cars pass it. And as I got up there, I realized, oh, it's a police car. Oh, and it's got all those scanning devices all over it. And what I assume the guy was doing was going through traffic, letting cars go flying by him. And he wasn't doing that to catch them speeding. He was doing it to catch their license plates. And what's funny is I watched for a little while, because I was not going to stay behind the guy just because he's a cop. On the other hand, I'm going to be careful about my speed. But eventually, I passed him. As I was watching my rearview mirror, the guy got off and left. Like, he didn't pull anybody over, but he was just out there trolling for license plates. And so it's gotten to the point where, think of the security footage you saw shot back in the 80s and 90s. Grainy video, black and white, often overexposed, underexposed, out of focus. They go, yeah, we caught the whole thing on camera, and you're watching going, I can't even tell what, is that a human? Is that Bigfoot? And nowadays, of course, you can buy a camera that's this big that shoots, high def video. And so, yeah, it's a concern. And so these systems are going to become less and less and less expensive. But just because it's easy to install doesn't mean it ought to be installed. And, the garbage men could also be asked, could you guys just glance at each yard you go by and look for the following things? And that wouldn't be that intrusive. So is mounting a camera on the side of the garbage truck and having it eyeball each house it drives past, is that intrusive? There's something creepy about that. There is. But the other question I have is, will this thing be picking up on stuff that humans wouldn't spot? And that's the concern I have, because I've heard stories before of neighbors of mine who said, hey, building inspector came by, and code inspector came by and complained about this. I'm like, really? Many city ordinances actually do have things spelled out. If your grass gets above a certain height, and it'll say in inches how many inches high the grass can get before it becomes considered a problem that needs to be taken care of. But not everything is defined that clearly. What is blight? So I'm a little concerned about how they train the AI, what the AI is going to flag, and so on. But we'll see what happens. As of right now, Cape Coral is considering putting AI cameras on its garbage trucks to scan properties for code violations, which means that every single week, a garbage truck will go by with the camera on it. It'll scan your property looking for code violations. And then, of course, what happens next is when the police say, oh, can we have all the footage of that house going back for however long you got it to see, everything happening at that house you guys caught on camera. And so there could also be other things like that we need to be worried about. But there you go. That story is from GadgetReview.com. Rex Edison wrote it. Andy and a bunch of other people sent it. Thank you very much. Questions or comments, put them below. Just talk to them. Bye-bye. I told you at the top there'd be an ad at the end of the video. Here we are. I'm here to talk to you about Factor. We are in the depths of summer here in Michigan. Out of the box. And by the way, I'm going to show you how the camera there. Meals are all good. And so they send me these things randomly each time. And
console, as you heard the guy speaking there on that, and that reminds me of the social credit system as well. Which basically is deciding what they won't allow you to do and what they won't allow you to do. Which is the mark of the beast. What the mark of the beast is going to be about, and what this is going to lead to is the mark of the beast. To where if you decide to think certain things, they'll punish you in however way these elites are going to decide that. Scriptures talk about never trust thine enemy. Sirach 12 in the GNT, verse 10. Never trust an enemy. His wickedness is as destructive as rust. Watch out and be on guard against him, even if he acts ever so humble. He is like a metal mirror that rusts away, even if you don't keep it polished. Yeah, so that's what these elites are going to decide to bring. Which this is going to lead to the MOTV. Revelation 13, verse 15 on down. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Yeah, and so these devils also, they know that Yahushua, that whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's not his real name. And of course, they think he's a white dude, man, that's gonna come here and fly in the sky and lift up his Christian followers, which consist of Edomites and certain blacks. I imagine certain blacks, right? If he's a white dude that's gonna save everybody, and you know what Edomites been famous for, he's gonna save certain blacks, right? Well, that's all false, man. Ultimately, that's what Christianity is about, to make you Edomites feel like you're and I'm just speaking from the heart and from the truth, man. It's to make you Edomites feel better about yourself and what you did in the past. But let me tell you this something, man. The Most High says that you're gonna pay for that, man. Not because Jake is righteous or deserves it, but because the Lord is gonna have to show his name, show how he is, how he feels about that. How basically the Most High is gonna show his justice, man. The Most High God is Yahweh. It's his name. Yahweh is a God of justice and righteousness, and he's gonna judge that, man. He's going to judge that. And once again, it's not because his people, us, the Negroes, blacks, Native American Indians, and I'm a Hispanic, so I would be part of that. We are the true Israelites, by the way. It's not because we deserve it or because we did something so great to make the Most High change his mind. Especially when you think about 2/3 of our people. That's something else we teach 2/3 of our people that will be destroyed. Because they're bound to be niggas and think like in the mindset of a nigga or some abomination that has nothing to do with the law, statutes, commandments. God, yeah. So they know that, man. They know this. They know that. Saying all that to say this, they know that Yahushua is coming, man. That his son is coming. They know that he's coming. They pay all these people and they bring out all these mockers and all these false doctrines to have people's mind distracted by it and carried away by it, because they don't want people to think that is the truth. They don't want people to think that is the truth. That's why you hear so many lies, because they know the truth. The elites that rule the world, the kings of the earth that are ruling right now, they know the truth. and they hide the truth and bring in whatever bullshit lies they'll rather have us people that's their slaves listening to. Okay, so yeah, man. That's what happens when you're in power, when you're in ruler. That's what every king did. Looked looked for and allowed. That's what every king did and allowed in his kingdom to look for and allow. Every king throughout history has the power to control what is and what not. And this mark of the beast is what's going to bring these elites to further control. It says in 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. And no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And ultimately, that's the number of a man, meaning that this mark of the beast is going to be made by man. It's a creation of man, Esau Edom, to control other men, so he can be like the Most High. It says in Isaiah 14 that this devil wants to be like the Most High. Isaiah 14 and 13, for that was said in thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, Yahweh, I will sit upon the mounts of the congregation in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, because that's why they talk about space and going into space and Mars and Elon Musk making it to space. I will be like the Most High. Yeah, and that's what this devil wants to be like. He wants to be like the Most High. And he's going to come out with this mark of the beast, the MOTB. And they show you that in certain movies and stuff. And the reason why they put it in the movies too is so that you can think that this is all a fairy tale. And certain people have demons on them, or they're one way the Lord blinded is going to blind people. Majority of people is by them taking it, because the Lord's going to, because in their minds, which the Lord controls their minds and thoughts as well, they don't see anything wrong with this mark of the beast. And they're already believing in Jesus Christ. They're already accepting faggots and momos and shit. They're already getting tattoos, being hoes, being disloyal in their marriage to their man. These women ain't loyal to their man already, so to get a mark, to take a mark, once they get shut down and the money gets on hold, put on hold for them to make a decision, they're gonna go ahead and take the mark of the beast, because they're already believing in whatever lies, bullshit that Esau's have been giving them. the kings of the earth, the rulers of the earth right now, the Edomites have been given them. So that's what this is gonna. That's what all this surveillance and technology is all leading to. They want people to get used to them being watched, because they are. If I'm not mistaken, Google is already owned by Facebook, Meta, and Facebook's. It already came out how Facebook was really a CIA operation, and then you have your TVs, smart TVs, smartphones that already watch you. And me personally, I think that there is CIA watching you already in your phones, your conversations, in your living room or your room, to see what you believe, what you watch, what you say, how you feel about this, or your opinion on that, on whatever political discussion topic. And I believe there are specific CIA agents watching everybody, tracking everybody. At this point, they might just be using AI, but they're watching everybody to make sure, even if you're just friends with somebody that may be labeled as a radical and a threat to the coming order, the society that's coming. Even if you're hanging with them, talking to them, they may just come for you. Not maybe, but they will come for you. They'll have to do something. So I got this video here I want to play.
Even though it's in the Bible and everything, and I'll say allegedly, they're going to manufacture a famine. They're going to manufacture a drought. They've been doing that for a long time. So if you control people's food and their water, allegedly, I'm saying allegedly on here, right? Even though the Bible says it's true. They're going to manufacture this thing. So basically, if you can control people, their food and their water, people will lose their mind. If they don't have food and water, they get hungry or if they get thirsty. And especially if they have kids, they're going to rob, kill, and destroy somebody behind trying to feed their children. I'm telling you right now, that's why it says, Bible says, woe to those who get stuck in those days. In the last days, when that time is going to come, because it's going to be a perilous time where you got that figure out how to feed their children. And a lot of them want to take the mark of the beast because they have to feed their children. Or the ones who want to take the mark of the beast, whatever, they ain't going to be able to get no food. They're going to have to have their own source of food. That's why we have to get everything tangible, get out of these cities, get out of these departments, get out of these major cities, whatever, so we can literally sit there and make sure we have something tangible.
Pull the trigger, and nothing had, like no bullet came out the gun. Sorry guys, I'm laying in bed. God gave me a dream. In this dream, there was this woman. She was in the hospital. She was having given birth, and she called me. She was like, "Help me! Help me! They're giving my baby the mark. They want to give him the mark." And I'm like, "Oh!" So I run, and we get in the car. We go drive to the hospital. and we go to help her because she was in labor. She gave birth to the baby, and as soon as she gave birth to the baby, they wanted to give her the mark of the beast. So we drove to the hospital. I ended up go and get to the hospital. I get to like the city area, right? And it was like even before I got to the hospital, it was like a police presence, like police soldiers almost was everywhere. And they had these guns. It was like everywhere. So I go into the hospital, and I sneak in the hospital. I go into a room, and she's got the baby with her, and we're over there. I'm like, let's get out of here. So I try to sneak out the window, but the window was locked for whatever reason. I couldn't get out the window. So I go back out into the hallway, and I'm like, let's go. Let's just sneak past them. And we try to go, and these guys, they have these guns, y'all. And these guns, they don't shoot regular bullets. I don't know what. I don't know if they shot energy waves or what. But these guns, this guy tried to shoot me with this gun, and it did not affect me. I tackled him, and I grabbed the gun from him. And I'm pointing the gun at the people. And they're like freaking out. Like, okay. Like, they're scared because I have this gun. And this guy tries to come at me. And I pulled the trigger. And nothing had, like no bullet came out the gun like that. But I saw this red laser point. Red laser on this man's head between his eyes. And it flickered, like flickered. And when it did that, even though the gun made no sound, he dropped. He just dropped like a sack of taters. And I don't know if it's because he had the mark and this gun did something to people if they had the mark. Or it was just some type of energy weapon that knocked you out. I don't know. But they were afraid of me once I had that weapon. And I was walking out the hospital, and I had the lady and the baby behind me, and I was protecting them. And I grabbed one of the soldiers, and I had the gun to his head, and I was like, let's get out of here. And there was a bus that we got on. This bus was full of other Christians, and we were trying to get out of the city. Get that baby and get out of the city. Because they were making everybody take the mark. Everybody that was in the hospital, everybody that was giving birth, they were making the babies take the mark of the beast. Right out of the gate. And we were trying to get out of there. And I remember the men, I had to do hostage, and I was headed towards the bus, and we were getting on the bus. And I remember when the soldier guy was there. He was a big dude. He was bald, and you could tell all of them had the mark. All of them had the chip. And he said, it's okay. We'll see them again. Like they weren't even worried about going after me because it's like they knew. I don't know. It's like they knew where we were gonna be. I don't know, man. It's like the chip. I think the chip in their head is connected to the internet, connected to technology, connected to cameras. It's like they didn't have to chase us to know where we're gonna be. But I just got this bad feeling like they were gonna catch up to us or something in the dream. And it was crazy. I'm telling you, it was crazy. And it was like they didn't want to harm the partner that I had. So they were like, it's alright, we'll catch you, we'll get up to you. And it could be too, because the dude that, I mean, come to think of it as I'm talking to you guys, if I kidnap this dude, kidnap, whatever, to protect them and get to safety free, he's basically, the chip is basically a tracker. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a chip. So they could probably track wherever we're going. But anyway, it blew me away. It felt so real, y'all. It felt so real.
So there you go. That's another story this dude shared of the MOTB. I remember in those dreams, as the scriptures say, your sons and your daughters shall dream dreams. So this guy was literally prophesying Joel 2:28. And afterward I will pour out to my spirit on all men and people. Your sons and your daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. So he really saw it was a vision. And so those dreams are from the Lord, man. Those dreams are from a
all blessings, honor,
That's how you get
glory.
dreams and see things. Basically, man, those dreams come from Yahweh Ba'ashmi Awashai. Some people don't believe that. They're not spiritual, so they don't believe that, but that's what it is. That's what I believe. That's what I put as facts. And sometimes you can just dream bullshit, but that dream he got right there, that was definitely from the Lord, because scriptures talk about the mark of the beast, and that's exactly what he's saying is sharing about is the mark of the beast. It fits with prophecy, so it's got to be true. Just a triple, quadruple confirmation there. That's from the Lord, from Yahweh Ba'ashim Awashai. Some people don't think the scriptures are real or on point, or they just treat it like it's just any other regular book. Or they're treated like it's any other book, but yeah, man. I mean, the point is that certain people, they're gonna be destroyed because they haven't taken the book serious. Because the scriptures are warning you. And ultimately, that dude was a Christian. I mean, he's not really a prophet or nothing like that. And more than likely, he's gonna be destroyed if he believes in Jesus. But his dream was on point. The Lord can give these heathens dreams or have them prophesy on the right as far as the doctrine goes, the correct doctrine can fall in line with it, and they can be on point. So this is 2 Esdras 15 verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Yep. And people that's unfaithful, that don't believe the mark of the beast, they don't have faith. If they go and take it, it shows they didn't have any faith. Because here you go, the Lord's prophesying of these things, warnings. Ultimately through the prophets of the great millstone, ultimately, because Christians don't really speak on the mark of the beast. You go to any of these 501c3 churches, and that just shows you too how basically these elites already have some type of control, because you have these 501c3 churches so people can go to and supposedly get the word from. But since they're under the 501c3, they're given certain things on what they can speak, what they can't speak. even with these even with any brand or any clothing line, they also have, like Walmart and stuff, they also have, even these businesses, they have a 501c3, which gives them things they can speak on openly about, and what they cannot speak on. So that's hard. It's like these elites already have some type of control, some type of control through their laws. And then when you go into the social security, your social security card as well, or your ID, you're required to have an ID and a social security card, which before that really wasn't even ever heard of. But now that's required. So they already have some type of some sort of form of control. Because when you're somebody's slave, that's what you had. That's what your master does, man. He controls you. He decides when to pay you, when not to pay you, and what he can do with you. So we're all under these elites and these devils. They're ultimately our kings, our rulers.
But what I am saying is, like, there's a lot of things that black people just don't do. Like, there's a lot of black people that don't go jumping, that don't go skydiving, because there's certain things we don't play with, because we don't know. So trusting the government with your body is crazy. Like, sir, in your free will, you got an implant. That's crazy. Or maybe it's just crazy to me. To each his own. But for me in my house, we ain't going. We ain't doing it. Like, I can't wrap my head around putting something in my body that will be my ID, the way I pay, the way I'm tracked. Like, I don't trust it. Like, it just seems like there's like a loophole or something. Like, kind of how they did with the cult. You know, allegedly. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't feel right. Like, maybe I'm watching too much conspiracy talk. But I don't know. Y'all tell me. Would you get it? Would you get it?
Yeah. Once again, going into people, man, waking up to what the mark of the beast is, man. Because the word's been going out, this vibration's been being pushed. We've been praying to the Lord, fasting to the Lord to bring in this mark of the beast, to usher in the prophecies. Yep. So yeah, man, the mark of the beast is out here, man. People even know about it. Even regular people know about it now. At this point, they know what the mark of the beast is. They just don't want to say it, don't want to admit it. At this point, if someone doesn't know what the mark of the beast is, it's because they're just ignorant and in denial. It's just my opinion, but yeah, I think it's facts. And once again, those that's gonna take it, I mean, she mentioned how it just seemed like something weird, that some weird shit that only white people would do. And that's actually true, though. It's actually true that, but unfortunately, a lot of Negroes, simple cool niggas, they're gonna go and rush in and take it as well. So that's gonna make other Jakes want to go ahead and think it's all right to take it. But yeah, ultimately, if you have faith, you're not gonna take it. And the spirit's ultimately gonna have to be in you to be in the certain spirit to believe your cause that much that you do not take it. Now niggas and those the nigga women, they're gonna take it because they don't, it's not in their spirit to take this word seriously, or even simple laws, simple laws that they could take that the Most High gave us to keep, the Israelites to keep. They don't even keep those laws. The law not to eat pork. They can't even keep that. They don't even have enough faith to want to keep that law, and that's a simple law to keep. So how much less when it's about their money and their way and their routes to celebrate and be happy and comfortable again and accepted in society again by friends and family and co-workers again, when that they built these relationships all these years with, when it all comes down to their own decision they're gonna have to make. But that's part of prophecy, I guess. They're a lot. Majority of our people's lot, majority of everybody's lot in this earth right now is gonna be to get destroyed, as it says in Second Esdras. I might get that later. This is Revelation 3 and 9. Actually, in verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. That's going into when the mark of the beast is set up as a law to take it, when that becomes a law, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Yes, because this is going to try everybody. It's going to eventually be everyone's decision to take this or not to take this, so that they can be justified in either destroying them or seeing their faith and delivering them. And certain Christians, they're not going to, certain Christians, I can see, because the Lord's the ultimate deceiver. These Christians, they may believe in the mark and decide not to take it, and they might just end up getting destroyed anyway, because that's how cold the Lord is. That's how diverse and how much variety the Lord has. You have all kinds of people with different faiths and walks of life that's going to decide not to take it. But still doesn't mean they're of the elect or they got the right breath in them. There's Revelation 2, and because there's certain people that may run and fast and eat healthy and read and make money, and in that aspect they may have a ideal lifestyle, moderate lifestyle, but they still probably wouldn't believe in the name Yahweh. So what does that make them? Exactly, and it shows that ultimately you gotta accept the name Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to become perfect. This is Revelation 2 and 9. Actually 10. Actually 10, yeah. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Meaning tested. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And it's not gonna be easy. This devil isn't just going to come out and tell people to take this mark of the beast. Because people just, at the same time, people ain't going to just want to go ahead and take it, and so they can just, and also on the elite's part, just to be safe and play it safe, they're gonna make chaos happen. They're gonna bring chaos and destruction enough to the point where these people, us regular people, the masses of people in general, can be so desperate to want to get a solution, and ultimately these elites are going to bring in the solution, which is going to be the mark of the beast. They're going to bring in the famine. They're going to bring inflation through an economic collapse, through hyperinflation, as the scripture says in Revelation 9 about it. It talks about actually that's Revelation 6, where it talks about the black horse. Inflation scripture there, Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. Come. Yeah, this devil knows he has a short time. He ain't gonna live forever. So these devils gotta hurry and make sure that they get everything set up already or finished by then. By the time their next sons come after them to rule, they gotta make sure they have it. Just like King David, he wanted to make sure he had the temple built before he was gonna pass away. So that's the same with these elites. They want to make sure that their temple gets built on the left side before their sons come after them to rule afterwards. Because that's how every man is. When you have a family, that's how you are. You want to make sure you set up your family before you pass on, move on. Especially if you got all these money and riches on the level of these elites. Well, at this point, they can be happy. They can be content, but they're not content. They want more. They want to have more. They want to be like the Most High, essentially. And that's off as well. But yeah, man, a short time, man. These devils have a short time. Their time is up. I'm gonna get this one here for there be many. Second Ezra 7 and start at 20. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of God that is set before them. And also as 2 Ezra 9:15 as well. I have said it before, and now do speak and will speak it here also hereafter, that there remaining more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. 2 Ezra 9:15. 16, like as a wave is greater than a drop. 17, and he answered me, saying, like as if the few is, so also is the seed and flowers, as the flowers that be, such as the colors also, such as the workman is, such also is the work. And as the husbandman is himself, so is the husbandry also, for it was the time of the world. And now when I prepared the world which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves. So I considered the road, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were coming to it. And I saw it and spread it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant as a great people. Let the multitude perish which was born in vain, and that's majority of people on the earth living today, breathing today. And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. And so there you go, man. The Lord told Ezra right here that there's going to be many that perish than of them which are saved. And Christians don't believe that. False Christians don't believe that, because if they believe that, then they wouldn't preach everybody can be saved. Because really their message is false, and is about preaching to this word to everybody. Which when the scriptures say that this word shall go throughout all the earth, it doesn't literally mean it's going to reach to every single body. That just wouldn't be possible. Because you got people from different languages, and you got people that don't even speak English, that live all in the mountains and in the jungles and shit. That just wouldn't be possible, and it wouldn't. The Lord could do it, because nothing's impossible to him, but that's just not going to be possible as far as in the man's, with the tools man has been given. Even with the internet, because mostly what's in the internet is bullshit. What most people want to listen to is bullshit as well, because unless this word was given for them, then they're gonna find it some way, somehow. So yeah, when scriptures talk about how this word is gonna go to everybody, that doesn't literally mean every single body. It means every. It means a lot of. What it means by that is it's gonna reach a lot of people's ears. And especially the elect, whoever they are, so they can be sealed and delivered. That's what it means by that. As far as every single body here in this word, no, it's not going to reach every single body. Because if they're meant to be destroyed, they're going to be destroyed anyway. And it's not hard to understand. So with that, Shalom and a bar. Hopefully this is edifying. Until next time, Lord willing.